You know me, I would like to go see Mark Robinson, but I'd rather see him do governor first. And
Well, he has to be. He can't be president if he's not
yeah,
governor. Yeah.
yeah, right.
Mark Robinson would be a very good pick for
Mark
president in
Robinson would be a
2028.
good pick. Yeah.
We just need him to win in 2024, and I think he will because he is a he is a firebrand politician.
I kind of want to ask you that. It's a different topic, but like, what are some things that he can do to win that race, and what he shouldn't do? Should he be a number two? Like, should it be a Trump 2.0 or stick with his own brand?
No, he has his own brand. He already has his brand. That's why
Okay.
that's why he see he's won a race already, so he's well known. People know him. He's the lieutenant governor of the state, so people know who he
Hmm.
is. He has recognition in North Carolina. So I think what he
Hmm.
has to do is stick to him, go out, talk, spread your message out. And I think he's doing that. Spread your message out. I mean, we saw some ads by him, and I'm gonna post them now because I really
Yeah, I just saw it.
ads right
Yeah.
here. I'm gonna share them here so we can watch them real quick. But I think he would be a tremendous presidential candidate. Just to wrap up the vice
I
presidential
agree.
GOP, you know,
Yep.
topic. But I think he'd be a tremendous candidate here. So let's look at these videos right here.
There's some things in life you can't forget. For me, one of them is this tree in front of my childhood home. You see, I grew up poor here in Greensboro, the ninth of 10 children. We had no phone, no air conditioning, no car. What we did have was an alcoholic father who beat my mother. Despite all that, he was still my father, someone we counted on. When I was in the 5th grade, my father died. My mother had a choice: kick her feet up and live off the government, or get a job. My mom took her 5th grade education and walked across the street and got a job at a university. She cleaned up after other people's children to provide for her own. She told me to dream. She told me with faith and hard work, I could achieve anything. She was so right.
History made in the Tar Heel state last night.
Who exactly is Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson?
I'm the majority.
Robinson, do you swear?
I do. I stand before you today as the first black lieutenant governor of North Carolina. Served in the military. I've worked in furniture plants. I've been a general manager for a restaurant chain. And I own a small business with my wife. As a factory worker, I made good money. Until NAFTA hit. I lost my job not once, but twice. My wife and I faced these tough times as we worked to raise a young family with 2 wonderful children. Like so many of you, we know the gnawing feeling you get from worrying about money, how it keeps you up at night as your children sleep. I've lost my car, my home, and was forced into bankruptcy. Like you, I don't need a politician to tell me what to be worried about. It's obvious. We know the price of gas and groceries and childcare is outrageous. We know too many children can't read on a grade level, that they've been
Yep.
failed by an education bureaucracy that's leaving them unprepared for life once they graduate. And sadly, we know our teachers aren't respected and aren't treated or paid as the professionals that they are. We know the shuttered factories like the ones I've worked for have left scars all over the small towns of North Carolina. We also know that our police departments are struggling, that they can't fill their ranks because we are demonizing the men and women in blue. North Carolina doesn't need more slick politicians who use work boots and Carhartt jackets as props in TV ads. They're just pretending to be one of us. You see, it doesn't take an Ivy League education to understand the problems we're facing. What it takes is somebody with a backbone and a vision, who cares about serving instead of climbing the political ladder. I'm running for governor because we deserve to be represented by someone who's actually lived like us. Someone who wants to serve, not rule. I don't care about the zip code you live in, the size of your paycheck, whether you're black, white, straight, or gay. None of those things should determine your future or your child's future. No one should have to choose between paying for medicine or making a trip to the grocery store. And our streets should be safe, and so should our schools. These issues shouldn't be Republican or Democrat issues. They should be the issues that transcend the gridlock of our capital. If history teaches us anything, it's that Americans don't run from trouble. We run towards it. Now it's our time to stand up and make history. So the kids who grew up in uncertainty like I did, that they have a chance to succeed, and that they know that they live in North Carolina, a state where anything is possible. Someday you and I will be gone, and I don't want my family to see a picture of me and wonder why I didn't fight for them. I want my children and grandchildren to know that I did everything I could. That's what I'm fighting for, and that's why I'm running for governor. Will you join me?
Yeah, that's
I'll join you.
excellent. Excellent. That was an excellent video.
Yeah, it was a good one. I liked that one definitely because he also brought up his stories as well, where he came from.
This is a story.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
that
story.
is a story right there. Yeah,
And his talent is he can clearly articulate without any fear, without any worry. I mean, we've seen videos of him just debating on the gay topic, debating on the.
yeah, right.
We've seen that. That's back and forth, and I'll try to show one real quick.
It's a
But
classic from him.
yeah, it's a classic of him saying, I don't, want to talk about the gay and the. Yeah, here's one real quick about him. But yeah, it was just him. He spreads his message because he's lived it. I mean, he's lived a normal life. He's not a guy who's grew up wealthy. He's not a guy who grew up in the upper class. He grew up like you and I. He grew up in a family with a humble, modest, just background. He wasn't wealthy. He wasn't privileged. He didn't go to the best universities. He served our country in the army. He's lived. He knows what it's like. Have to pay your bills and worry about, how am I going to pay my bill if I got fired and my company, the factory I work at, shut down and it's not even my fault. No, it's nobody's fault it shut down. But then there's politicians coming to our communities and saying, well, it is your fault because your communities are poor. They're filled with crime. The education is low. But then you sit back and say, wait a second, but that's your fault because you did that to us. You flooded our streets with drugs. You made our schools ugly and bad. You degraded our curriculums. And you made policies that made these factories leave. Just the way everyone can relate to that. That's a nationwide issue. We've seen the de-industrialization of this country. Places like Pennsylvania, Virginia, North Carolina, Kentucky, Michigan, Wisconsin. That's why the Trump message spoke so vibrantly and so just stung deep into people's hearts because they saw it. He was saying things that they lived. And they were saying, wait a second, this guy who lives in a palace, in a skyscraper in the sky, he has a penthouse in the sky in New York City, sees and knows the things we went through. Well, he's saying the exact same thing because he lived it. So his authenticity, he doesn't have to be Trump. He's himself. He's a guy who served our military, who's firm, who's Christian, he's decisive. He's not afraid to say what he believes in. And he's not afraid to push back on the lies being spread. That's what you want. And so what he's doing is going everywhere, talking to all news outlets. He has no fear. He doesn't care if he goes to CNN or the local CNBC outlet or the local Fox outlet. He's going everywhere. He talks to the Riley newspaper. He talks to everybody he can because he's not afraid. I just want to post this classic video before we wrap up of him pretty much. This was him, I think, in a church, I believe, or something like that.
Yeah, this one right here. Yeah.
It's this one. Yeah, it's classic.
Here's something else I'm not supposed to say. Ain't but two genders. Two genders.
You had the background.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing but men and women. And I can already see WRL out there. They got they licking their pencils right now, trying to write fierce as they can. Get every word of this here. Get every word of this. You can go to the doctor and get cut up. You can go down to the dress shop and get made up. You can go down there and get drugged up. But at the end of the day, you were just a drugged up, dressed up, made up, cut up man or woman. You ain't changed what God put in you, that DNA. You can't transcend God's creation. I don't care how hard you try. The transgender movement in this country, if there's a movement in this country that is demonic and that is full of the spirit of Antichrist, it is the transgender movement. It's time for grown-ups and time for Christians to start standing up and being unafraid to tell the truth. Yeah. Come after me if you want to. I don't care. You want my head? Here it is right here. Come on, come get it. I don't care because it's time for us to stand up. Now I'm not afraid to stand up and tell the truth about that issue. They're dragging our kids down into the pit of hell, trying to teach them that mess in our schools. Tell you like this, that ain't got no place at no school. 2 + 2 don't equal transgender. It equals 4. You need to get back to teaching them how to read instead of teaching them how to go to hell. Yeah, I said it and I mean it.
Dude, man, when you, I think you would want to send me that when
yeah.
I think this was a couple years ago, maybe. I know it's after COVID. Dude, when I first saw him, I'm like, yo, I love his energy so much. That's what I want. Not Ron, not the way he talks. I want Mark Robinson right there.
We want him. You know, they're unafraid. They don't talk in lingos. They don't talk in Florida. They don't talk.
Yeah, exactly. It's out there easily. It's out there.
We see it. Call it out. He's calling out what's wrong. But this is the thing. He's not focused on a negative. He's not focused on the negative. He's saying this is what's wrong, but we have a path to go forward. And when you hear Ron, everything you hear about is, oh, this, that's bad, this is bad, that's bad, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. 10,000 things is bad. And then in Florida, it's good. It's like, yeah, but buddy, we can't all move to Florida. Sell me a vision for the future. Sell me a vision for the next 20, 30, 50 years of what America can be, because that's what Trump sells us. That's what they talk about, the future. What did Mark Robinson say at the end of that video? He's a disciple of, let's say, the MAGA movement that Trump created, not Ron DeSantis. Trump created MAGA. Nobody was saying making America great again in 2015, except for him. Nobody was talking about America first in 2015, 2016, except for Trump. Mark Robinson, a disciple of that movement, what did he say at the end of that video? When I'm old, I don't want my grandchildren or my children saying, why didn't you fight for this? This is a movement that's focused on laying out a future culture, a society that believes in 2 genders, that believes in protecting your community, that believes in taking drugs off the streets, that believes in a good education system, etc. etc.
Right. No, I agree.
I don't hear Ron talking about that. For the leader of a future movie, I don't hear it. I like Robinson. We endorse him here at For the Republic, and hell, I'm waiting for 2028 even. I'm projecting out there. This is my guy for 2028.
If he goes for 2028, go for him, man.
He needs to win. He needs to win this year for North Carolina, and he needs to be the governor for the 4 years. And I hope if he does run for the presidency, or maybe he'll be the vice president for somebody in 2028. Tremendous choice. You have a tremendous patriot next to you. He would be a tremendous leader for this country. He's unafraid. He's unabashed, and he represents a lot of people out there that feel these things and are looking for a warrior on that stage to go to Washington and say, you guys are effing things up. We don't stand for this. That's him. Unafraid, undecisive, uncut, unfiltered. That's him.
Yeah.
Right. And he's not looking to offend you. He's just telling you the truth. And if the truth offends you, that's on you.
That's on you.
That
definitely is on you.
That's on